10 years ago, I suggested to my partner, Robert Cooper, the four cornerstone models for emotional intelligence. And we developed a book out of that called Executive EQ, Emotional Intelligence in Leadership and Organization that was released in 17 countries. We developed a model whereby, how do you start and, and how you develop and how do you evolve your emotional intelligence through one's life. And the first cornerstone is emotional literacy. Obviously, like our intellectual intelligence starts with the ABC, the 1, 2, 3. So emotional literacy is the ABC, the 1, 2, 3 for our feelings, the ability to express, to understand what we're feeling and what do they mean, and how to play with that emotion and to extract from it the information, the energy, and the magnetism that emotions are. And so emotional literacy is phase one. This is what in an ideal paradigm, children will be studying emotional literacy. And comes phase two of emotional intelligence is emotional fitness. That's the second cornerstone. And that's where you start practicing your emotional muscles. Now you're practicing, you're dealing with your peer mate, as a teenager, you're dealing with the relationship, you're dealing with your parents, you're dealing with the world, and the future. And that's where, we practice those emotional muscles, and that's where we start building and developing our life skills, like trust, like integrity, like character, like resilience, like the way we master relationships. And it's not that they don't exist, but when we add the emotional component to them, then they become far more stronger and less wobbly, And so when you talk, for example, about the character or your integrity, about always saying the truth, many people say the truth, but they never say the truth emotionally and how they feel. So it's not they don't have character or they're lying, but their integrity or their character is wobbly a little bit. When you practice the when you are emotionally literate and you start practicing your emotional muscles, all those life skills, that you learn, to become a functioning and successful, human being, are now far stronger and far more resilient. Now you are, coming out from teenage to as a growing adult, and then you say, okay, fine, now I have my relationship, my life is in order, and what's next? That's where we dive into what we call the third cornerstone model as third cornerstone, which is emotional depth. That's where we dive in the pool of emotions deep down and explore our demons, and as we explore our genius and beauty and talent and brilliance and our destiny, and all of those are at the bottom of the pool. They're heavy. Anger, fear, jealousy, they just float at the pool, at the top of the pool. Anger, but love and your sense of destiny and your beauty and your wonder and your magnificence, and as your demons, your shadow self, and they're all at the bottom of the pool. And being equipped now with emotional literacy, with emotional fitness, and now we can dive into this Pandora box, as they would call it, capable, confident of, healing the past and really accepting the gifts. Coming out to the fourth cornerstone, that is called emotional alchemy. That's where you become an emotional alchemist. That's where you can use emotions as energy and as information, as a sense of magnetism to create reality magically. That's where excellence and elegance and grace, started, and synchronicity started to happen in your reality. That's where you start. That's where really a relationship with God can become a partnership, just beyond just a relationship, out of fear or out of loyalty or out of whatever other love and so on, So those is the four cornerstone models. The immersion priest, in the training, they went through those four components. They started with emotional literacy all the way to emotional alchemy. Once they became the emotional alchemist, and they had that partnership with God, they went out to serve people and humanity, as all priests do. but they did it without martyrhood, struggle, suffering, that a lot of our well-meaning people into service and help and so on face these days, and so on. They always want to do all the good stuff. They help people, they serve people. They always have no money, they're struggling, they're unhealthy and so on. So they knew that emotional maturity and emotional alchemy, or emotional intelligence, was a precursor to be able really to be of service. And at the same time, they took it as one of the tools into their path towards self-realization, as the foundation to becoming an enlightened person or a beautiful, good and true, and so on.